it's just the online AI for you. They never know when to back out of moves. So really, we kind of share the blame on that one. But this one was the game fault, because Sticky Side Pods strikes again as we get caught with NASA, and we're back down to P15 when we were looking at P6, 5. I reckon that we can, I believe that we can do this. We can get something out of this race.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Not if something like that is going to happen. That is a huge, huge leg crash. That is a massive, massive crash there. Very close to the inside wall again. Yeah, P9 over Nico Rosberg. Can we hold this position for as long as we can? Trying to run the rich mix. But he's got the slipstream. Surely not. Surely not. And Rosberg has just destroyed me around the outside of Eau Rouge. Levelling out in our situations with the tyres. We're going to have a look at the inside though. Into the line, hand out of the comms. And Rosberg has now spun us. It's 1-1 in the spinning each other out. And Mana is out-dragging us. That's how bad this is going. I said before this race is going to be a struggle, and I wasn't lying. Now I'm going to hand you over to the commentary of Boss MG, LMP Statistic, and Dark Gunner 40.
How come he gained so much?
No, Rosberg! Rosberg is sideways going into Parabolica.
Why can't I hear Ross?
I'm inbound.
Wet
We're
move.
not talking.
He's got into sweaty mud.
We're heading on to the final lap now, and we've got to try and get him this lap. So we're heading into the Parabolica for the penultimate time. We're trying now to everything we can to overtake the Williams. This is going to be a very tough move. Coming on to lap 13 now, having to turn the fuel down as well because we are running out of fuel. Opening DRS, we've got the slipstream, we're moving to the right hand side of the circuit. We're trying our best. LMP Statistics squeezing us to the outside of the circuit. I think we made a bit of contact there. And Statistics got off. He's outbroken himself into the first chicane. He's gone off, and we have got the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. But I think, I don't know what happened there. Can we have another look back at that, please? There we go. So I'm coming down the pit straight. I've got a bit more speed than he does in the Williams. I am as far as I can go without going on the grass, basically. And there's nowhere I can go here, so I'm moving left the tiniest bit. And then I think we made a bit of contact, and Statistic outbroke himself into the chicane, and we've just made contact. I honestly don't know if anyone was at fault for that. Statistic blamed me for that at the time. But regardless, we're coming to come through, and in the most unlikely of scenarios, we win the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Who saw that one coming? Lights out, and away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Got a fairly good start, must be said, trying to watch LMP Statistic on the left. We don't want to collide again like we did in Monza. Just trying to take it careful through the first few corners, and that's not being helped by Raikkonen. There's spinning cars all over the show here. This has been a bit of a crazy start to the race, and just because it's a crazy start doesn't mean the whole race is good. It's kind of like the start is a bit manic, and then everything just quietens down after a few laps. Speaking of which, we've gone a bit wide, we've gone a bit deep, and Statistics going to catch us up to this section. We're coming up to the hairpin. Surely he's going to think of maybe the inside. Contact! Contact again! And now we go all the way to lap 12 because Boss MG appears to be slowing. Wrong. He got disqualified from the session. Another non-points finish for him. But regardless, we're going to come through and win a rather difficult Singapore Grand Prix. So as we cut on to lap 5, literally nothing else happened. We got some fastest laps in, just pushed the car to be honest. So trying to lap Maldonado, not being the friendliest of customers when it comes to being lapped as it seems. And neither was Max Verstappen coming up to the hairpin out of the Degner corners. There we go, heading to the right hand side and back and forth he goes. And look who it is ahead of us. It is LMP Statistic, our crash buddy this season. We seriously need to keep it clean on this particular occasion, especially with what corner we're coming up to next. We're coming up to 130R, and if things go pear-shaped here, this is going to be a big crash. Statistic is trying it up the inside. We don't have the speed, but we have enough of the bravery to keep the throttle in and manage to hold it around the outside. Statistic on those worn options did no threat. So how about some laggy cars?
Here comes the music. Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, 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 ow. Boom, 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 boom. I'll shoot you right down. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, 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 ow.
But we're going to come through for win number 3 in a row. This is astonishing, and also, more importantly, we've taken a commanding lead in the championship. We're going with the inside now, several AI cars. That's Rosberg on the left. And for no reason at all, he's just sideswiped us, just to try and get us out of the way. Illegal overtake. Oh, he spun him out! Unbelievable. I didn't mean that. 100% I did not mean to spin out Nico Rosberg there. But that's how it happened. I can't... Rosberg's round. Because here we are, we've got the slipstream. We're going to the right-hand side. There's not much space on this side of the circuit. Button squeezing us there very fairly, however. And we get the move done. And there's yellow flag, so we have to let him back through. Button. Just... button. Button! This is the problem with the AI. When you get an illegal overtake and you need them to go through, they just never... They never get out of your way. But the second that you want them to back off and get out of a move, they never do and they spin you out. Okay, why exactly have the yellow flags come out? There's something... I think something's happened at the front. Yeah, Boss OMG. Boss OMG is in trouble. He and Gunnar ended up fighting, and it pushed a bit too far when it seemed to be that both ended up in a crash where Boss OMG came off worse. But, yeah, it wasn't enough in the end. But we come home for P2, which is a very good result nonetheless. And so now with Dark and 40 winning, let's move on to the podiums. So we're here for the start of the American Grand Prix. We're starting on pole position, best starting place, 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go for the American Grand Prix. We're trying to get the best start we can, but Perez alongside us, getting a much better start than we are, climbing up to turn 1. We're trying to climb up the inside. We make contact with the Force India, and we're round at turn 1! Unbelievable. Well, fair enough. An illegal overtake on multiple drivers. And we're last. As he's still trying into turn 2, we're running near side by side now into the S's section for this lap 10. And we're so close. We get contact again! Unbelievable, we have made contact yet again. And Statistic again is the person to come off worse from this. Unbelievable. As we're coming through the S section, I don't know, looking back, this kind of looks like a bit like a racing incident. But Statistic, again, blaming me for this. I don't really know, really. On that one, it's a bit hard to tell. I personally think, looking back, it's just a racing incident. But, opinions. So as we come around now on the final lap, we just held our lead. LMP Statistic fell behind Rosberg in the end. But we ended up winning the race from Hamilton and Rosberg. Now, for finally, for the first time this season, we are looking at the World Championship. We can win the title today. I'm not sure what the standings were coming out of America, but I know coming into this one, we have a good chance of taking that title this afternoon. Hopefully, we can get a good starting place on the grid, and then everything will be fine, and maybe not starting in 16th place. Well, where's Rosberg then? There's Gunnar in 10th, Will Stevens, no, Rosberg 6th. Well, that's just great, isn't it? Here's the thing, engineer. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, but I'm a bit compromised at the moment. Could you cut me some slack, please? I'm driving as fast as this damn car can go. And Rosberg there, so early on the brakes into turn 1. And now he's been held up by Hamilton. Now he's broken about 2 miles early for that corner. And I've lost my front wing. So we're going to do something we haven't done in a while. Recovery race time, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're going to try and have a look at the inside of Romain Grosjean in the Lotus. We're trying to go up the inside. It seems they've got the move done. No, of course not. Why would we have the move done? Why on earth would we have the move done? And we've got front wing damage. That's just great, isn't it? That's just great. We've got front wing damage as well as being spun out. Might have been a sliding from the rear. DRS, I am sitting as far away from this car as possible. but eventually the straight line speed of the Williams is too much for the Red Bull. We need to get back in the slipstream. He's swerving around a bit. Actually, no, he's swerving around a lot to make that. We're going up the inside into turn 1, and we've got the move done through the chicane section, and that is P6 in this race. But as we come around the final few corners, I just thought it was a good recovery drive, to be honest, to P5. But as it was turned out, as we come through the final few corners, that here at the Mexican Grand Prix, we finally get the championship, for the LMP championship for F1 2015. But for now, let's celebrate Boss MG's win, shall we? There's a backwards Lotus. There's Dark on a 40 up ahead of us, and he takes out Rosberg. What is this? What's going on? Lag. Calm down. We've got Boss MG behind us. We're trying to overtake him now. Moving into the corner. And at this point, I should explain. On Boss MG's screen, I think there was a lot that, because of the lag at the start, it affected my car on his screen. So it swerved. He said it violently swerved into his car, and kind of it ended up being that. But look at this at the start. Dark Gunner 40 was hosting, and we didn't know that someone else in his household was downloading something at the time. So we've got to try and catch Jensen Button now. And we've actually got some DRS off him, which is rather nice. We just get DRS of a lapped car, and we end up doing a 1 minute 11.7 as the fastest lap of this race. And that's when you know you've had a bad championship battle in the last few races, when your rival laps you. However, we come through to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. We are back for the final round of the LMP Championship now. All is pretty much decided in the Championship now after the recent results of the races. But this one, for a couple of things. One, it's obviously the last round. Two, everyone's just kind of fighting just because, just kind of personal preference, really, for bragging rights. And thirdly, this one is a 100% race to round off the season. So we get to enjoy the experiences of Abu Dhabi at night. And now Statistic here is going all over the show with his Williams, and he is on options, we're on primes, and we are just reeling him in ever so slightly. Get in the slipstream, rich mix and DRS. We're trying to get the move done. Hamilton behind us is trying to get a move done as well. Surely not! Statistic goes to the inside. Hamilton's now going for the inside, and I'm going for the outside, 3 wide into the chicane. Statistic outbreaks Hamilton and outbreaks me. That was good defensive work by Statistic, it must be said, to hold off Hamilton and myself there. Well done, all credit to him. Here we are, coming down now for a second attempt. Down the DRS straight, not defending as hard this time. And we're going up the inside, and we've got the lapped cars as well. And nicely done up the inside, just holding off the lapped cars as well. The Statistic is going to be having a look up the inside this time on the second DRS straight. This is the problem with Abu Dhabi. If you overtake on the first DRS straight, you leave yourself open to attack on the second. So we're going to go for the inside line for the defensive.
One more time.
Well, at least for once when we made contact this time, no one got spun, and it was Statistic hitting me, not me hitting Statistic. Makes a nice change. And now heading on to lap 25, so a few laps later we pulled away from Statistic, and we're closing in on Dark Gunner 40 now. And we're trying to go get him into this final sector now. Through the chicane, third gear, through these corners. He's so slow through here. Come on, man, get a move on. Williams is just being a mobile chicane now to get out of the way. And the sun, obviously, starting to set in Abu Dhabi. And it means that the visuals just improve further and further. And we're going up the inside now. I've gonna mind a bit of bodywork contact. Trying to get around him now through the final sector. Running a bit off circuit there, but we do get the move done. 2 final corners, use the curve, and then the exit for this one. And then through the final corner, third gear, using the curve and the exit once more. And we're going to come across the line for a 141. Another 141 something, or I didn't quite see what it was this time. However, we're going to come now, cutting on to the final lap. Nothing more happened in this race, but we will come across the line, and we will claim the final victory of the LMP Championship after the title as well. And with that, the LMP Championship is done. So now on to one final podium. So yeah, that'll do it for this final video on the F1 2015 LMP Championship. Thank you all very much for watching any of the races and these two montages that I did. It was a fantastic season looking back. It was really fun to do. I may have some disagreements from some of the drivers who got a bit more messed over than myself. But for myself, a title and having some fun while playing this game, it's pretty top-notch to me. So, don't fret, Formula 1 content is not fully gone from my channel. We still have the F1 2015 Co-op Championship, running with myself and Boss OG in the Ferraris, and honestly, I think I'll just, maybe at some point, I'll talk random F1 stuff. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.